Okay, at this time what I want us to do is practice how to bar model word problems. And the first one we're going to look at bar modeling. It's actually not a super easy bar model because it involves division where we don't know the number of groups. And so I want to talk about how we bar model division problems when we know the size of the group but we don't know the number. And we're also going to learn a new word called profit. The word profit is if someone sells something, it costs them money to produce the item, and then it costs them, they charge more than that when they sell it, and the profit is the amount of money they make once you've subtracted what they spent. I think a lot of you may not be familiar with that word. And so here's the problem. Our first step is always to read the problem. Alicia bought 420 mangoes for $378. She packed the mangoes in bags of 4 mangoes each and sold all the mangoes at $6 per bag. How much money did she earn? Okay, now the first step we always want to do, we answer word problems, we've talked about this before, with complete sentences. We'll call it our statement. We need to change the question, how much money did she earn, into a statement. And so the answer is going to be in this format. Alicia earned, and the unit is going to be dollars. We should always put the unit. Alicia earned dollars. That's how we're going to answer, and the answer is going to go in that blank. This keeps us from giving the right answer to the wrong problem, which a lot of people do. They don't answer the right question. So here we go. Alicia earned dollars. Okay, so let's go about how we would do that. Well, here's what I see. The problem is about Alicia's mangoes. We'll call it Alicia's mangoes, and we'll give it a big long bar because we're going to cut it up. Okay, so that's one of the things. So if you have not written your statement and drawn a bar, why don't you go ahead right now, pause the video, and catch up to this point on the video. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go label our bar. And so we know she bought 420 mangoes, and we know it costs $378. Well, the $378 is really not important to us right now, but here's what is important. We know that the entire bar model stands for 420 mangoes. That's what this bar represents. That's why we've labeled it Alicia's mangoes. And then we know that we're putting it in groups that are each 4 mangoes. So let me make my first group, and it is 4 mangoes. And the question is, how many groups of these 4 mangoes do I have? I'm going to recognize very quickly what I would do is 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4 until I get to 420. And that's going to take a long, long, long time. Okay, and so in fact, sometimes what you'll see in our book is it'll have a little broken line right here on the bar model to show that we don't really know how far this bar model should go. We're trying to find out how many units. And if we don't know how many units, what we should do is we should take the whole part, which is 420 mangoes, and divide it by the size of groups, and we'll find out very quickly that Alicia has 105 bags of mangoes. And so if I were to show this on here, I would have 4, 4, and I would have to actually write 105 units. We're not going to write all 105 units. The next step then, we're going to try to find out how much money she earned. Well, if we know how much money, if we want to know how much money she earned, here's what we know. We know that every one of these bags, every one of the bags, yes, which is 105, represents $6. And so here's what I know. I know that if 1 unit is $6, then I know that 105 units, which is all the money Alicia made, should be 6 times 105. So she actually brought in $630. Now the question, how much did she earn? I said we're going to talk about the word profit. She didn't, it's not that she earned $630, because let's remember she spent $378 to begin with. And so I think a lot of you are realizing by this point that what we should actually say is that Alicia, her amount of money she earned should be $630, take away $378. That's actually how we will solve the problem, and we get that she has earned $252. Alicia earned $252 selling mangoes.